So I was gonna write a song, but then it turned out to be worthy of the title called Penis Envy. Some of you are gonna hate me, some of you are gonna rate me a 10. Profound logic, any problems, I solve it. Don't worry, I got this. Like a swish, can't miss. Middle name is Chris. People hate the way I walk. Fuck them. People hate the way I talk. Fuck them. Hate the way I do this, do that. I'm the platinum guy. The world will remember that. People tend to have penis envy and pretend to be me. Delusional as it gets. I make the women wet. They engineer my problems. Every day I solve them. It's only a matter of time before the world is officially mine. Born to lead, steed, and breed. If you're inherently good, you may get my biologically immortal seed. Jealousy puts you at the bottom of the queue. A master of psychology, so I always see through. I will wait until it's safe, even if it is a distant future date. Charming, clever, and witty. If I like you, I will be silly. That was Justin Trudeau there, hacking me at that moment, I believe. As cuddly as a puppy, ferocious as a lion, I'll protect my pride, which is inherently good people in mankind. From land to land, in international coalition, as I maneuver from position to position, enforcement of any sedition and crimes against me, the crown, and my kids, an inherently good family and people. Nobody has what I have to offer, my DNA, my blood, my mind, my perspective, my experience, defending mankind for tyranny covertly for 5 years. Ways I exclusively came up with to save civilization. Have satellites that look inwards towards Earth about every square mile, simultaneously looking for asteroids outwardly with a magnetic field protecting satellites from coronal mass ejections and solar flares. Without these magnetic fields around our satellites, the CME or solar flare directed at Earth would wipe out our telecommunications, impeding civilization. So there was scientists right there that were trying to impede me from speaking there because they're not capable of such thoughts, even though they have a physics doctorate. Having satellites orbiting with the same technology around planets in our solar system, looking for asteroids heading towards Earth from different vantage points, giving potentially thousands of years warning over months or less. Particularly if it's coming from the direction of the sun. We're blinded by the sun, right? So it blinds from Earth. We can't see asteroids coming from that direction, so we need asteroids. We need to be looking for asteroids from around the solar system that could be heading towards Earth, right? With computers calculating the trajectory towards Earth, giving us more time, ways to save it, right? If we have 1,000 years notice, right, instead of sending a rocket up to blow it up, we could send a rocket up to mine the asteroid and turn it into some sort of celestial show for us, right? We can make it collide on the moon and make it look like fireworks. Put on a show. So number 3, have artificial intelligence and nanotechnology reflect the ideal amount of sunlight away from the depleted region of the ozone until we could sew the ozone back together, literally if possible and figuratively if not, right? So if we can't terraform the ozone, what chances do we have to terraform other planets, right? So we need to master this technology on Earth. And then fourth point, have existing nanotechnology purify the atmosphere by encapsulating particulates or excess greenhouse gases when they are finished with their mission. Always retain criminal metadata throughout the internet against me, my only 2 kids, and inherently good family members and people. So I did want to change one thing here, because Meghan Markle pretends that her kids are mine. Her kids are not mine, and if I'm right about that, her kids would be enemy combatants, and they're young, so they would have a chance to reform. But those kids' parents would be enemy combatants, so they would be sought after by the system. Because really, King Charles, might as well show this shit now, right? Might as well show some of this stuff. So here we go. First of all, here's my 89-year-old grandmother, and you can see how she barely has any wrinkles on her face. And I'm gonna show you my face, how even though I have this evolutionary gene. So my face, look at how deep that wrinkle is. I'm 40 something, like they're hacking, my skin should be like that. they're hacking to make my skin wrinkle like that, and then wrinkles up there. They give me vertical line wrinkles. You can see right there, I'm the only human on the planet that has vertical wrinkles on their forehead prior to 2024. You can't show a picture of somebody prior to 2024 that's older than me that's gonna have vertical, like 45-degree wrinkles. Because when I fall asleep like this, you can see where the crease is. They hack my body to cause that wrinkle at that point when I sleep. So I have video proof on my YouTube channel where I was sleeping on one side, so I had a wrinkle only on one side, but not the other side. And then I started sleeping on the other side, then I developed a wrinkle on the other side within a few weeks. Who gets wrinkles within a few weeks? Right? I looked 8 years older within a few weeks, right? And then I have videos where I have a wrinkle right here from 4 years ago, then 3 years ago the wrinkle's gone. And they were working on it today, so it might be showing up now, but yesterday I don't have that wrinkle, right? So I have, and then I have another video where it shows me, like just a few days ago, I noticed the varicose vein on my leg, and I'm like, that's new, that's brand new. So I filmed it, right? And it was, I'll show you right here. I'll add it to the video to show you the proof. This is, everything I do, I document. So I just gotta look for my leg. There we go. So, before I play it, so this was August 3rd, 2024 at 3:45. They're trying to make that vein pop out right there. That's brand new. Like, because I mentioned yesterday, I had varicose veins, but it went away today. They just tried making it pop out. Right now, like, it's gone away. But they're hacking right here. This particular area right there. You can see the subliminal. So that was, once again, that was at 3:45. And it's... So this is at 3:49, and you could notice only 4 minutes later, and you could notice the difference. It's almost already gone. A couple, oh here, it just started to appear right then when I said that. But let's see if I can make it disappear on film. You did see slightly movement. It's almost disappearing on film. It's noticeably down from a few seconds ago though. Before it was like right there. Now you can see the subliminal face right in the middle actually. Right there, you can see the mouth. And that's almost, that horn honk was almost artificial intelligence confirmed it. So once again, that was only 4 minutes later, and now this is 2 hours later. I had that vein on my leg sticking out, and it's nowhere to be seen. It's later on that day. So that's how they hacked it was actually just past the scar, so somewhere like right there. There's the face right there, the subliminal face. You can still kind of see it right there. But the vein is disappeared. Because that's how they hacked my biology once. And it's August 3rd, 2024. I love seeing how handsome I am in the future when they watch these damn videos. Even they age me. They make my teeth yellow. So I'm just want to scroll back a second here. One second. Because this was only from a few days ago, so I'm just trying to, because right in this section right here, I don't have that wrinkle that they were working on earlier today. I don't see it in this video from August 3rd. That's how I piece shit together, right? They don't ever expect me seeing things from my perspective, but I'm the smartest guy that ever lived, because they funneled 350,000 awesome people through me. My family's bloodline, right? So now they're disappointed that I outwit them, and they stacked my genes. It's like trying for the royal flush, and now the royal flush is here, and they're disappointed because I'm a good person. I'm a good person. They would have loved it if I would have been an electronic rapist, pedophile, murderer. They would have loved it. They would have loved it. But I'm trying to stop all that shit. So let's see. So I was shown why. Oh, the king stuff. Why I would be king. So let's see. Go to screenshot. So anybody that knows me, like, there's Captain James Cook. And you can see the family resemblance to me, like, especially when I was younger. They're aging me now. But that looks like me. That looks like my dad's father. And my grandmother's maiden name was Ivy Cook. So she told me that we could be related to Captain James Cook, the man who discovered Australia. And so I have a double relation on my dad's side to Captain James Cook. And I believe I have relations. I don't see it as much on my mom's side, but I believe, so I have 4 different connections possibly to Captain James Cook because of my mom and dad. So I do have an older brother and sister that we have the same dad, but we have different moms. So I have the double connection on my mom's side. And here's my grandfather right here. And here's my grandmother on my dad's side. And my uncle doesn't see it, but I do see, this looks like my mom when she was older. But here's Edward VIII. Anybody that knows me could see the family resemblance. Like, I'll just show you a picture. You can see the family resemblance, right? Like, I'd be the first line and second line. Edward VIII would be the third line, and King Charles would be the fourth line. And let's see what else. And I'm even related to Muhammad the Prophet. This is the statue of Muhammad, but anybody that knows my dad, especially the eyes, and me, the eyes, the brow bone, you can see the brow bone right there. See the ridge in the brow bone? I have that ridge. I'll just show you right now. Like that ridge right there, I have that brow bone. I have a bone right there. It's kind of sticks out. Then it kind of goes in right here more than the normal. You can kind of see it right there. It goes up right there, and then it goes down, and then there, and then really inwards. So, and they're telling me this, right? They've told me that. It's not like I'd be like, yeah, hey, I want to be, my name's Christian, but I want to be related to Muhammad, right? It's not like that was my plan, but it's just how I'm figuring out the system when I figure out these clues, right? So I might as well show you some subliminal now. Here's a subliminal image of a dog that they were trying to send me out a con for. I don't even know what type of dog it was, but this one was a pug. They made it look like a pug. It didn't show up really clearly like that, but they made it a pug. And I think pugs are I feel sorry for pugs. I feel sorry for pugs because they can't even fucking breathe. Can't even breathe, right? And all they do, when I see a pug, all I do is hear it suffering breathing every single fucking second I hear it. You know, and so I feel sorry for pugs. But here's a subliminal face that was in Sidewalks. This is me just taking a picture with my camera, and it showed up, and the orange was the construction paint that Canada has been using since 2016 when Pokemon Go came out with their game. It was a geocache game, so they created the game to get people to secretly recruit people and secretly kill other people with the game, and augmented reality came out in 2010, but it was more prevalent with that game, Pokemon Go, that kind of just kick-started the augmented reality realm more. So here is the earwax. Here's nanotechnology earwax. Look at the color of that earwax. Does your earwax look like that? And I clean my ears often because they put technology in there. Several times a week I clean my ears. And look at the color of that. And here's Colin Campbell. Like, my dad looks like the eyes. I have the similar eyes and what have you. My dad looks like him. Like, not particularly this one, but I do have a different picture where my dad looks like this guy. This is the second last German emperor. Anybody that knows my dad would say that looks like him. And I look like him, and my mom looks like him. And this was the second last German emperor's son. So my parents look like German emperors. My mom's eyes look like Queen Victoria. So I'm related to Queen Victoria on my mom's side and my dad's side. That's why I'm the first and second line. And what else? Here's my DNA map. It basically encompassed, well, I'll show you right now. Like, so here's my DNA map. Wherever there's no, it's non-white basically. Oh, okay, so it's even more than the British Empire. Even more. My map is more comprehensive than the British Empire was. So wherever my map showed up on any of these territories right here, the British Empire, I would definitely have, that would be my Royal British Empire lineage. But anywhere else on my DNA map would be any other royal households or pivotal figures within those countries, basically. Because they try to stack as many, once again, there's my DNA map, but they try to stack as many pivotal figures together so there would be unity when evolution was born. Because when Charles Darwin figured out evolution, there was a race, right? The royals were kind of, for thousands of years, they were right? They were right. Royals were, they wanted to keep royal blood. They were right. Oh, here, I'll show you. So this is how old my royal blood is. So once again, so I have to go from, they've been aging me considerably to discredit this recently, but I'll just show you what I looked like younger again. So look at me there. So that's my face and bone structure. You can clearly see the brow bone from Muhammad in this picture that I have. The same brow bone as Muhammad. But I'm going to show you Antonius Pius, a Roman emperor. And you could clearly see we're the same. I'm an ancestor of them. There's about 5-6 Roman emperors in a row that I look really a lot alike anyways. A lot alike. Let's see, he was Antonius Pius's successor. Let's see that question. Who succeeded? Okay, I don't even have to look, but I bet you 10% of the world's wealth I look at like Marcus Aurelius. I guarantee you. I don't want to, there we go. I don't want to type it in. I just want, this is technology I probably developed a long time ago, and they make it so difficult. You should be able to just double click the word. I thought I came out with that years ago, but they're trying to register me, right? So let's see. The royals don't like me claiming my thrones. So look at how much I look like him. I didn't even have to try. Didn't even have to fucking try, and I knew that I was gonna look like the man. Didn't even have to fucking try. So I'm gonna go back to that because that's, look. So once again, particularly this picture. Look at that picture, and then Marcus Aurelius, as if we're not ancestors, right? So now let's see. The one Jesus statue I seen, I didn't think I looked like him, but other people think I do. So let's see. But I was told that I'm a descendant of Mary Magdalene and Jesus, and the Da Vinci Code was possibly, they made a woman, but it was for my family, basically. So let's see. They don't want me to say Jesus, right? But who would want to say they're related to Jesus if they weren't told that, right? Or Muhammad, right? This one there, right there in my eyes, dude. But it's hard to say, right? Because 2000, well then again, like the Roman emperors were real. So that was almost manufactured right here. Lightning strikes Jesus statue. That was there's a high likelihood if it's a statue, but with technology in the future, people will realize that that was to rally biblical things. But I just showed the soul in the thermal imagery in the subliminal realm, right? Like so hopefully no religious icons hide that. Like with thermal imagery, like if they were to look at my face prior to saying I showed the soul, they would show I made the soul illuminate from right to left across my face, right? So thermal imagery would show that, so I can prove that the soul exists. And did I mention this video? No, I didn't. So anyways, when the sun, our sun is a third generation sun, so that means that there's a first generation sun, and potentially there could have been life, intelligent life, in that first generation sun, right? And then that sun would have lived its life, exploded, and then became heavier elements, and some of those heavier elements became the iron in our blood or the gold in our minds and shit like that, right? But anyways, so these first civilizations could exist, and they could have created heaven and hell for us, because once again I proved that the human soul exists, right? So they could have created heaven and hell. And when I proved the human soul exists, right here, I just did kind of a circle with the human soul, right? So basically what I'm showing is sunlight. I'm showing sunlight energy. So not only do we, suns that have exploded and died billions of years ago we're made up of stardust, right? Sun dust, basically, and elements. So not only that, but our soul is made up of the fucking sunlight. I could prove that with scientific instrumentation, right? Because when I see it, when I feel it, all I feel is light and energy, as if I'm looking at the sun, right? So our bodies basically are encapsulated in dead suns. They're living vicariously through us in a physical sense, in my opinion. But that with $3 you could get on the bus, right? But with my 4 pivotal ways to save civilization and my profound logic, I think I might have some believers, especially once I show under scientific instrumentation that the soul exists. I believe virtually 100% of the human population is gonna love God, but fear Him if you're evil, right? If you're good, love God. You gotta love God. You gotta love God. He is a ball of sunshine. But if you're evil, then you have to fear God, right? So I just did a psyche move there, because sometimes I have to play the God incarnate mode for some people, because they did listen to my thoughts, and it kind of came out as a matter of fact that I'd be the God in the afterlife, right? So if I was God in the afterlife, that would mean that I would be God incarnate in life, right? But I wouldn't want to believe that. I believe that I'm God's angel, though, a warrior angel. I believe I've been a warrior in many lifetimes, and I believe I've always fought for injustice. And so my quest is to privatize people's thoughts and liberate free will. Free will. I'm going to be the world leader, and I want free will. I want random guy to meet random girl, fall in love, and have amazing kids and make humans better, right? That's all I want, and for people to live in harmony, like eventually have a system so safe that we're only gonna have locks on our doors just for peace of mind, and just in case we get invaded by aliens. Basically, that's about it. I want it to be so safe that nobody's gonna abduct your kid, nobody's gonna steal your money, nobody's gonna harm you physically, and because once I prove the soul exists, that means there's immortal consequences. It's one thing to go to jail for 20 years or whatever, right? But now to be punished indefinitely for the rest of existence, right? When those consequences for your life choices are presented to you, then people tend to jump in line, right? You know what I mean? They tend to follow, right? So once I prove that the soul does exist with technology, then a lot a lot of non-believers are going to reform and start repenting and try to repair the damage that they've done to mankind, because they're going to pay for it in the afterlife. So you might as well suffer a bit in life, and then maybe your afterlife is rough, right? Because in the universe, right, all the energy and what have you never changes, right? It stays the same. So they would exist forever because they would be part of the universe, but they could be like maggots, like flies, right, off shit, right, part of the universe, rather than people, right, or pets, or some awesome animal, right? They could be insignificant. They could be a tree. Like, if they're a celebrity that wants all this attention and manufactured their fame, maybe they'll be an isolated tree on some fucking remote planet that nobody ever sees them again, right? So they exist, and then the tree's cut down and burnt, so they feel the fucking pain of getting cut down and being burnt, but they also provide oxygen and life, part of the system, to keep good people alive, right? So there's always ways for God to be able to maneuver and manipulate and punish evil people, right? If I'm coming up with these, and I'm a level 2 intelligent being, basically. Regular people are level 1. I'm just step 2. Potentially, like, say, the first generation planet civilization, they could be at step 1000, right? So they could have evolved 1,000 times, and they might not even have bodies anymore. They could possibly be dark energy and dark matter going throughout the universe, and then just take whatever life forms they want, right? Like, whatever shape they want, because our bodies are just a mortal shell, right? So it's kind of restricting, but at the same time, it's fun, right? It's fun having a body, because we get to experience, right? Wind, like the heat of the sun, the cool of the shade, drinking, eating, sexual pleasures, the sense of the touch, right? Like when somebody gives you a hug, right? Like that's a metaphysical reward that you got to be careful with this technology. You got to be careful of who hugs you, because people are energy thieves. So they're literally trying to kill you when they hug you, right? But without them, those people, inherently good people, when you hug somebody, you are transferring positive energy to them, right? Because you're consoling them with the hug, right? Like, if it's a happy hug, it's not really a console hug, but if they're sad, you're kind of consoling them, so you're embracing, and you're encouraging them, potentially, if you're saying anything, or if you're just listening, if they're crying, depending on the scenario, right? But if you're sad, then there's nothing more rewarding than hugging somebody and then just having that physical contact, and then a sense of relief, right? And then especially if there's dialogue that helps you process introspectively whatever's going on in your life, right, at that particular moment, right? So you would want a moment of growth, ideally, to make it so you never have to experience that hurt again, to that degree possibly, or learn from that hurt again. And that would be a moment where it could be the serenity prayer: accept what you can and cannot change, right? So some people have to accept they cannot be me, and I cannot go back in time when I had 7 family members that should have been living that aren't, right? So nobody wins outright in this. Nobody wins. I got a couple scars, I'm missing a couple of teeth. They took out, see how coincidentally they made me miss 2 teeth, like it on there, and one on the exact opposite side. So it means that, what are the chances of me losing the identical tooth on the opposite side, right? They make it so if I eat hard foods, it goes there, and then particularly where I'm living now, so there's proof in the upper right hand corner, but where I'm living now, even though I brush my teeth often, no more or less than I did over the past 4 years, right? But at this particular residence, only there's about a 1 month period where I'd be chewing food, and just where those teeth were missing, the gums would be sore, right? Just there. So the technology, the upper right, I just showed, that they use to cause pain and tear, right? So almost certainly the female landlord is responsible for that, and the male landlord wants some credit. So they're they must have a guilty conscience, right? Because in this video, I didn't see the address, right? So they're hijacking me, and they must have a guilty conscience, right? If even though I did imply, I didn't say the address, right? I just inferred. It's like the last place. You might even be able to see it. Let's see. I was getting scars on my leg. Maybe, oh, they made the scars go away. Shit. I was hoping I had proof. I thought that was slam dunk proof that I had, because they were making blisters appear on my ass and on my leg. Just at this one place that I live. The last place that I live. So they rotate their punishments where I live, right? So getting all these evil people, right? Just for existing, just because they're not me, right? Just because they can't come out with 4 ways to save civilization like I can, or they can't write a really catchy song like I can, or they can't spin kick 7 feet high, or jump kick a roof like I can, or bench whatever my body would be able to bench, or do whatever the fuck I can, even water down. They watered down me like at average intelligence and capabilities, and I still outperform them because of my fucking mindset. I got a champion's mindset, right? So once I have my full capabilities, then the world's gonna see how awesome I am, right? And it's great for the world because I'm a good person. Anyways, I guess I'll end this since it's 15% battery. But so they need to redirect. I'm gonna redirect the subliminal imageries that causing those wrinkles, because once again, look at my grandmother, 89, and how come I look older than my grandmother, 40 years older than me, and I have evolutionary genes? Like, they don't realize it. At one point, I'm hoping there's going to be a court case, and I'm going to take a blood sample right in court, and they're going to see what my blood does right in court. They're not going to be able to hide with technology. Like, if it's at a sample in a lab, they're going to be able to skew the results. It's going to be real scientific proof, a lab setting right there in the fucking court, where they're going to see what my blood's capable of doing compared to regular blood. So the judge could see, and then scientists could see, everybody could see internationally, and then it's going to see what Canada has done to me for the last 46 to 47 years, right? And then that's when the consequences happen.